Welcome everybody, it is the Hammer. Today I'm going over my Mod 24 Guardian Fighter build for the tank. First things first, while I have my guildie here to show out the stats, I'm going to go over combat balance. So you gain 10% damage resistance if your awareness, crit avoidance, and deflect rating are at least within 1,000 of each other to get the full 10%. So as for right here, this is what I'm looking like in group. When I buff up, I'm using Chocolate for the awareness, Steadfast for the extra 2k defense rating and awareness 5%, Crafted Potion of Deflect, and then a 10% Caprice. If you want to go for the extra stats just to bump it up, we're going to use these Invocation Blessings for some defense. So this is what stats look like sitting. G, if you will, start throwing some healing words. So as you can see right there, the ratings are almost perfectly balanced, and from these three we will be getting our 10% mitigation damage resistance on the ratings. So now that you see that, I can show you what the stats will actually go up to once everything is procced and in combat. Since I'm on a tank, it's kind of hard to show you what they proc up to. At the end I'll throw in a screenshot of what the stats look like when I took mid-fight in an M-toss. Probably got a few DPS killed, but it's all good. Alright, thank you G, you're good on the healing words. So, first things first, to go over the gear. Dark Maiden's helmet, don't need the rating from the Mastercraft helmet, so we just go with the extra threat gen and item level. Chest piece, we use the Rugged Mail of the Dragon Hunter from Dragon Hunts for the extra 7.5 awareness and 5% stamina regen. Superior's Crusher of the Dragon Hunter for the extra 5% defense. The reason I use these is because something in like M-toss, first boss, you don't really have an uptime of 5% damage resistance from these gloves, but these both are really good options. Feywood +1s. I use Brazen Slash, which is our stamina restoration one. So while I'm building stamina, it's just a little extra damage for threat. I use stamina regen on this part. The offhand modification, it's whatever stat that you really need. Awareness, defense, deflect, crit avoidance for that rating. I go with the seal boots for the deflection when you're in a group. I run one Mythalar fragment because it's a high item level and it gives a little bit of stamina regen. Tiamat set, in my personal opinion, best in slot for a tank. So upon taking, when your stamina drops below 15%, you'll be gaining 8% damage resistance and 8% crit avoidance. There's only about a 10-second downtime, which isn't too bad. Usually by the time you take your next big hit, you'll have that back up. We got 2 M-toss rings. I run the Elstrie's Enduring and the Tenacity, one for the awareness and 3% less from ranged attacks. And this one just for the crit avoidance on it. If you have a pally, even better to heal you. If not, no big deal. We go with the defense shirt with the AP gain and crit avoidance pants with the AP gain. I'll show you just a quick what I'm using for my enchantments. We got the citrines. This cobalt, I don't really need it. I just don't need the rating from anything else, like the extra defense or the crit avoidance. So I just threw this in here for placeholder. Got the amethyst and this for our forte. We've got the crit avoidance and deflect overload with the physical damage reduction overload. Flash freeze. This thing right here, best in slot for a tank to use. I used to run fortified nature. You can get a high level of stats without this. This is not needed for the stats. And it's overall better, the flash freeze, because you give your whole group 15% damage resistance. on top of the 10 you already give yourself. This right here depends what content I'm in, movement speed or AP gain. Some content I'll go AP, some I'll go movement speed. So for the stats in combat, if your healer's running the Master Boon, which one is it? Blessed Resilience, which typically in trials that are properly set up, one will be running Blessed Advantage, one will be running Blessed Resilience, so this can cap out your defense. The awareness, oh, and then don't forget the chain of scales that I just popped there. So awareness, you got 81.5%. Dig also gives you 15% awareness automatically, as well as 10% crit avoidance. So the chest piece here will give you the extra 7.5, so that'll go up to 89. Once the crit avoidance goes up from either getting hit by a critical attack or a heal, you'll get the extra rating. Crit avoidance is also about 89.5. Deflect goes up to about 83 because of the Master Boon that we run, which is this. So those are the stats once they're procced in combat. Guild boons, I just go with power for the extra threat, crit avoidance or defense, whatever you need. And then always revive sickness. If you're pretty set that you won't die as a tank, you can also run movement speed. I just always keep this on anyway. Companions, we have Black Death Scorpion as a summon, Dritz, Tutor, Spine Devil, anything that supports the group, basically. In some content, maybe a Stalwart line for the extra mitigation, if you're like solo tanking Tom or something. We use Armor Break for the debuff. Right here we have all Brilliant Belts from Underdark, or North Dark. We got the Slime for 7.5 defense, a Raptor, the Watlerin, Winter Wolf, and a Golden Crow. So right here we could run anything. Bat Swarm helps tanks with the aggro because it increases your damage, so it works for a tank. We also can run Runic, Mystic, Aura, either of the two. And in some cases when you got 4 supports, Providence as well. For the mounts, I don't have the correct insignias right now to make my bonus. Kind of put that on the back burner, but I would like to run a second Champion's Return. So, and ideally the stats will be the same because they're the same types. So 2 Magistrates, 2 Champions, and 1 Gladiators would be my insignia bonuses. And yeah, this is pretty much my GF build for a tank. So we've got a lot of mitigation going. Our HP gets up really high. Our defensive stats are pretty much all capped, going max debuffs. And take note of the race that I am. I am a Drow. If you come over here, a Drow also gives another debuff for the group. 10% chance to apply Dark Fire for 5 seconds on a target. It reduces their defense by 5%. So between the race of Drow giving this debuff and Armor Break is 12.5% debuff on the boss. And that's pretty much it for my build. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you on the next one.